Welcome back. Brand new part of my beautiful 24 scale Hurricane build. Great kit. So you see we painted her up, put a couple of decals on. So, put it over there. So this week we're going to do a combo. We're going to do decals and weathering. We're going to do two in one part because I've done decals so many times. I'm not going to talk for hours about how I do it. I'm just going to kind of put them down and kind of show you how we look. And then get onto weathering. Panel line wash to really bring it out and match, get that camo kind of blended. And probably some neat oils as well. So we've got that ahead of us, and just a reminder, we're going to use these beautiful decals from Techmond right here, and we're going with a scheme, the RF Peterhead one right there. So, right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so starting a video on a bad note. So I thought, you know what, let's put these decals down, and I've done this 20 times already on build videos, tons of them. I don't need to show you how to put decal down. So put them down, and if we look here, it's looking pretty cool, right? I think it's really looking apart. Like it, no way I could paint the letters and stuff. So put them on, they're a little bit finicky, like difficult to, yeah, I don't know if they're difficult to work with or not, to be honest with you. They kind of, you got plenty of time to work with them, but they don't take a while to get down. Like I was touching the other side and I was crumpling these ones by touching it like 2 hours later. So it definitely needs a clear coat to seal these guys in. So that was no problem at all. The problem is this side. The WC, so much carrier film, it just didn't come off and it just crumpled into 1,000 pieces, so I just threw it away. So we're missing a decal WC on this one. The rest are pretty much on. Like I say, it's looking really good on that side. So I put so much work into this, I'm not just going to bodge it. So it cracked and stuff, so I went and ordered another set of decals. Fortunately, I was ordering some other stuff from there and they weren't that expensive. It's a big sheet, but like under $10. So I ordered another one, but it's going to take a couple of weeks to arrive, especially with Christmas, maybe 3 weeks. So I'm going to have to put this one on the shelf now and leave this one. Nothing really I can do with it now. I'm done. So I'm going to wait for those decals to arrive. So fortunately with power of editing and stuff, you're not going to see it. I mean, in 2 seconds when I click my fingers, you'll be back, and 2 weeks later I'll have my decals and we'll all be good to go. But yeah, I'm still glad I went with the decals and not painted them. I think it would turn out a lot better. It's just a shame they're so big, a lot of carry film, it's so hard to work with. But at least with that pack, at least I get 2 WCs, so if I screw it up again, at least I have a spare, because that one's already on that side, right? So there we go. Just as always, I like to show my problems. You know, we never build perfect aircraft. We always have problems along the way, but I put so much effort in this one again. It's worth paying an extra 10 just to get another set, just to make sure that side is good. So that's where I'm at. So the power of magic of editing, we'll be back in literally 2 seconds and we'll be done. All right, so we're back. It's been a long time since my last video. All kinds of continuity errors, I guess, because we've got a new cutting mat. We have a black cutting mat, and we have a new camera mount. The camera's mounted on the wall, way higher up, so now I can fit a lot more stuff on my camera shot. It's been 6 weeks since we last spoke, and the power of video editing, it's been a fraction of a second. It's taken that long to get my replacement decals. They shipped out from Hannon's. It took 6 weeks to arrive, but we got them, and the decals are on. So that was what we saw before, this side. And that's what we got, the new ones I put on. Now, I'll fully say I think it was probably user error. I wouldn't necessarily blame the decals. I know they're tricky to use, but I think I just didn't leave them long enough on the paper, and I took them off and they just all kind of crumbled. But at least I got them on. I've given a clear coat over the whole aircraft to seal them all in, and the decals are done. Now, this video, as I think I mentioned, I'm not going through how to put a decal on. I've done it a million times before. You can check any of my other videos out. It's just getting a little bit repetitive. So the decals are on, and now we'll get to some weathering on this guy. So I'm going to start with a wing to kind of show you what we've got going down here. So, as always, I'm using the Flory Models Dark Dirt Wash. Other brands do Dark Dirt Wash. I happen to have a couple of these bottles around. When it's done, I might switch to something else, just because they're getting pretty expensive now. But it's basically a clay-based wash. So, really good, good for panel lines. And the reason we do a clear coat, gloss clear coat, should I mention, is so this stuff just sticks in the panel lines and wipes right off. It doesn't stay all over the aircraft, because we don't want that to happen. So, this works really good too with camo patterns, because what it'll do is it'll bring all these panel lines together and bring the camo together to make a nice uniform service. So I'll do one wing, show you how it looks, and you'll be able to compare it against the starboard wing here. So what I've done is I just poured a little bit, decanted it a little bit in a plastic pot. Now these are simply from Amazon, about they used to be about $5. Now I think they're about $6, $7, $8 for 100. and basically like they're kind of like for foods, you know, like takeaways, like for sauces and stuff. These are 1 ounce plastic containers, and you get a lid and a bottom. Now the lids are great. I use the lids for like super glue and little drops of paint and stuff, like a little palette, and the bottom I use for mixing paints and washes and stuff. So straight out the bottle, just taking my brush, and I'm just going to splosh it all over the wing. And this obviously being 24th scale, it's quite a big boy, so we can get through quite a lot of wash here. So let's get it all on. And this one wing is probably about the same amount of wash as using on a 72nd scale aircraft, probably. So a lot of stuff going down here. Make sure everything's covered. Boom, 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 boom. And there we go, easy as that. Just splosh it all on, leave it, no need to be clean or neat with this one. Just get it on the wing. We're going to leave it for about 30 minutes for it to dry, and then we'll come back and we'll remove it using a basic paper kitchen towel, just ripped in little pieces, and we'll wipe it all off. So let this sit for 30 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes. To be honest with you, I threw on Netflix and watched the latest season of Cobra Kai. So I watched an episode, it was 38 minutes long, so it's been about 45 minutes. So paper towel, and just going to lick it, a little bit, tiny bit of saliva, and just wipe this stuff off. So you see how it's all dried. And the more liquid you put on, i.e. saliva, the easier it comes off. And again, we're doing a huge area here, obviously. Let's get it fresh. So, yep, build all this stuff comes off on here, just throw it away, get another piece. And for now, just wiping the stuff off and leaving it in the power lines. Okay, then now I'm going to finish off by getting the direction of flow. So if anything's left, it's going to be, you know, front to back. A little bit more stuck around the guns, the cannons, should I say. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is easy as that. Now, I might do a little bit of touch up here and there, but for a quick demo, that is what we got. So compare it this side, no wash, this side wash. See the difference? Subtle, but it just, this details, being 24th scale, it's quite over detailed, but I mean it looks pretty good. It kind of blends in the two colours a little bit too. Obviously that's going to be the be-all and end-all. We're going to do some more weathering as well, but in terms of the first stage here, that's what we got going on. So now I'm going to work my way around the other aircraft. This colour does look really good on the greys and the blues, so it looks a lot better on the bottom here. But we'll work our way around the whole aircraft, getting this done, and I won't bore you with that, but I'll come back when I'm finished and you can kind of see how we're looking. And there she is. We've got all the, let me zoom out a little bit, there we go. The wash has gone all over and off. So what comes on comes off, and as you see, we're looking pretty cool, but still a bit glossy obviously. And the bottom, as I mentioned, you can definitely see all the pound lines and stuff way more, you know, when it's grey, lighter colours. But yeah, didn't do the wheel beige yet. We're going to do a oil wash for those guys. But the rest of it looking pretty neat, very nice. So just going to do a few little touch-ups here and there, like I'm just noticing around the cannons. Just clean it up, give it one more check, and then what I'm going to do then is give it my final clear coat, which will be a flat XF86. Flat clear, old school Tamiya, no problem at all. Spray it all over, get it all dull back, and then we'll come back and do the final part, which will be to neat oils to kind of break it up a little bit more. Alright, so I've actually gone ahead and done a neat oil. So I put the clear coat down and added neat oils, and you can probably see here it just picks it out and added another complexity to it, especially on the underside. Right, so did it off camera because to be honest I've been struggling with this oils for a while. So I used my usual Abteilung Starship Filth, which is, you can see on the camera, 510. Just a good grimy color. So I put a little pot here, and I've really struggled in the past few months of getting this stuff to blend. And I think part of it too is it's getting a little bit dry to paint maybe. So I had just a drop of my of enamel thinners, and just to soften it up a little bit, and it worked way better. So maybe that was what the plan was. So basically what I do is just apply it with a neat brush. Now little goes a long way. So just apply it across certain panel lines, and then with a stiff brush, like this old guy right here, probably need a new one, just really kind of run it down and scuff it down. And if it's too dark, just a Q-tip, dip it into some enamel thinners, add a few drops, and it just helps it blend a little bit better, like maybe like along here. Just see it rubbing down, and then just, if it's on camera, just blending it. Cool, so that is basically what I did all over. Now back here is fabric, so there's not really there's no real panel lines or anything back here, so I just added a few little bits of dirt here and there. Actually looking at it, see like here it looks pretty dark. So again, just run my Q-tip over it to kind of thin it out and just blend it back in. Cool. So what I'm going to do is show you right now is I need to add a wash to the bays down here, the wheel bay. Now I've got my Starship filth in this top, like leftover in here, and that's going to be perfect to make a wash. So to make a wash, I'm just going to add my enamel thinners. Take my brush and mix up the paint. And there you go, you got that wash. It's too thick, so I'm going to add a little bit more to thin it out. And you want it kind of like translucent. Oh, almost knocked it all over the plane. That would be terrible, right? Okay, and then what I'm going to do then is just literally just wash, add it all to the inside of this bay here. Actually, I want it a little bit thinner. There we go. Oop. Actually, you know what, black would have been a better colour. Anything metallic, black always does better, but this will add a nice bit of grime on here. And we can also add some to the... See, I'm just adding some certain panels here. Okay, so that's it. Just go around, do a quick pin wash, and we should be good to go. Just pick out some of these like little raised areas around here. It's just going to evaporate away, and it's just going to leave. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. It's just going to leave in the recesses and that kind of stuff. Cool. Alright, so there we go. The pin wash is all on. Looking really cool. It's going to evaporate away and look more subtle. But just picking out certain areas and panels and stuff. Just make it look very awesome. So I'm going to end the video now. This concludes the weathering on this guy. I'm going to let it sit overnight before I do anything else to it. And then... that'd be it. So have a great week, have a great weekend, and I'll be back next week for the final reveal. As you know, we've painted and done all the stuff separately, so it's simple, like maybe 20-minute job with just attaching everything and gluing it all on, doing the aerial, that kind of stuff, and we're done. So thank you, have a great weekend, bye-bye.